Daytona. Everybody ready, set, go. Rev it up and let's roll. There's a party in the fast lane. Got my hands flying. Heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls. Riding in on a stampede of lightning. I'm bringing back the sunshine. Bringing back the sunshine. Baby, it's about time. Oh, bring it back. Oh,
Hello everybody and welcome to Austin, Texas for Race 10 of 18, the XPEL 225 here at Circuit of the Americas. We are in the second half of the season and the final four of the in-season tournament. I'm here in the booth alongside none other than Mr. Eugenio Acosta. Eugenio, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's always a great day. We got LIMECAR going on. I'm really excited to see this race. COTA has never failed to deliver.
Yep, it's certainly going to be quite the interesting match. Last week we saw the second scary incident in a row. Carson Reed took a 360 tumble. He's okay after his flip 2 weeks of scary incidents heading into COTA. And then Chase Gibbons, the 31 seed, making his second straight Final Four appearance on his Cinderella run. And last week we saw Santiago Nicolas with a surprise upset over Christopher Marnell. Gets it done, takes the win at Armory Digital. That's his third win, all three coming at Super Speedways. Eugenio, that's really impressive that all three of his wins come at Super Speedways, and we've seen a little bit of DAF racing dominance previously at the Super Speedways, but Nicolas has been the one to beat, and he's going to have a head of steam coming into this Final Four.
Yeah, man. I mean, in Super Speedways, you've got to be. They always say you got to be in the right place at the right time, but you got to do all through the race. You got to work to get yourself into that right place. It's really impressive what he's been doing. He finally exposed the fraud that is Christopher Marnell. Yeah, I'm really happy for him, man.
Absolutely. How about we get into our keys to the race here? 21 laps, 3.4 mile track, 20 turns. Eugenio, take us away with these keys to the race.
All right, so this will be the fourth time we have been here. Each race, I think, before it's been really exciting. Not a single race has been ran the same. We've had our last two winners, Michael Guthrie and Garrett Lamar, two names that you will probably recognize. One of them actually owns the team of a guy I know really well, Ricardo Garcia. What a driver, man. He races for Garrett Lamar Race Shop. I hope to see them do well. However, on a fuel run, you will be shy of 13 laps, somewhere around that. I'm really excited to see, however, what people do with strategy here. I've seen the teams be split between a one-stop and a two-stop, but with how chaotic these races can be, I would not be surprised if anything else happens.
Absolutely. We could definitely see different strategies, especially if cautions play into people's favor. We say that every week, but especially here at such a long road course. Here's our starting lineup. Row 1, Santiago Nicolas on the front row alongside Tyler Cook, Jerry Chen, and Alexander Rowe, row 2. Logan Williams, Descorius Greenhouse Jr. take up row number 3. Matthew Fastnot and Justin Haley sitting in row 4. Row 5 is going to move forwards to Richard Fridge and Christian Viscani. Cars rolling off now. Chase Gibbons, Ian McDaniel. That's a matchup we're looking at today. Gibbons versus McDaniel. They're both in row 6. Kaz Gralla, Kyle Mabey in row 7. Eris Yuko and Chris Lilly sitting in row 8. Row number 9 is going to move forwards. Jeremy Mead has a little bit of ground to make up to fight against Santiago Nicolas. He sits alongside his teammate. Robbie Gordoff, Henry Guo in row 10. Row number 11, Christopher Marnell and Michael Guthrie. Row 12, Ethan Harrison and Aaron Giffen. Row number 13 is going to have Nathan Stapleton and Braden Sigafus. Two of the somewhat veteran drivers in the field. Blake Walker, Jordan Madron make up row 14. Row 15, Garrett Lamar starting a little bit ways towards the field as he has a lot of wins on road courses, 3 to be exact. Quinton Haley, Ryan Barone in row 16. Row 17, Joe Kraus and Strokey Banger. Row 18 is going to have Reed Simpson and Zachary Ponce. Row number 19 is going to have Brayson Collins and the 42 of Cam Arrow. Row 20, it will have Ricardo Garcia starting a little bit towards the back and Sean McKean. And then rounding out the field, teammates Anthony Foss and Stephen Poland. 21 laps here at COTA. Anything can happen at this wild and wonderful 3.4 mile track. Santiago Nicholas and Tyler Cook leading their way to the green flag here, inching towards the start line. We start further down than the F1 cars do. 42 cars off and ready, up the hill to go to turn number 1. Green flag is out. Here we go. Eugenio, we're going to fan out 3, 4 wide all the way into this turn 1 break.
I think I might even see 5 wide at some point there. They're going for it, man. Turn 1, I guess they think they can win the race from here on. We'll see.
We'll see as the 14 of Chase Gibbons has jumped out to an early lead in front of the 6 of Ian McDaniel. Those two fighting against each other in the in-season tournament as the 83 of Santiago Nicholas has actually slipped down to 3rd. That's Tyler Cook, who's going to be battling with Jerry Chen for the lead here as the field shuffles through the S's here. Look at Jerry Chen battling around Tyler Cook. They're going to be side by side as they come through the final little left-right before the long little straightaway before the acute angle 90-degree or more than 90-degree angle hairpin as they don't quite hit the back straightaway, but this is going to be a little bit of an elbow kick turn before they hit this breaking point as, oh, there goes the 14. He gets stunned.
Big contact.
Looks like that was Justin Haley who hit him. Let's take a look at this replay. Oh, man.
Nasty hit. It's unfortunate he cut across him on the braking.
Cut across him under braking, and that's going to pay massive dividends. He was, big slide out of Haley. Looks like he got some karma there. Everybody else, a lot of other drivers going sliding here. We stay green, but it looks like the 14 he had just gotten in front of Ian McDaniel. He's now going to have a lot of ground to make up, maybe hoping for an early caution here. And the 99 of Justin Haley, maybe he was the one who turned him, maybe he was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. But he gets sent through that really big braking zone after the back straightaway as the rest of the field heads through the stadium section. These stock cars, the 46 and 32, Kyle Maybe, into the wall they go. And that's going to bring out a yellow.
Yeah, man, that was a massive hit. Oh, my God. I hope he's all right.
The 46 of Ryan Barone immediately comes to a stop. The field had gotten by the flag before the yellow was thrown. So, Ricardo, we're going to see basically a full lap of green flag action before we come back to the yellow flag, racing back to the flag here in LIMECAR. So we'll see how the field is able to shuffle out, maybe even see a little bit more chaos, but I would have to imagine that these guys are going to try to take it nice and easy. We've already seen a lot of bent fenders, especially towards the middle and back half of the field.
Yeah, man. I mean, they've been going at it. We're only on lap 2, and there's already 10 plus cars carrying damage. It's definitely going to become a race of attrition. I would not be surprised to see, because I mean, I guess technically these guys can shorten their run right now if they take a pit stop. I would be really excited to see if there's any strategy calls, because when they're yellow, we can maybe stretch out that field run a little bit more. So it'll be interesting seeing what the back of the field does, especially if they have nothing to lose.
Jeremy Meade currently in 16th, hoping he has a little bit of handling issues getting resolved, but I would hope that this early yellow is going to help the number 97 Sharpie machine get back to the front and battle with Santiago Nicholas. These two evenly matched in terms of, I would say, the seating wise. 97, the slight underdog as predicted by Vegas. Kashi has about 40% of people betting on the 97, about 60% of users betting on the 83 of Nicholas, who is trying to get the lead back from Cook, and he does.
Move. Big heads-up move right there.
Looks like the 43 was just sleeping, and that's going to allow the 83 to get by him and take the lead, coming back to the yellow. I think Tyler Cook was just expecting to ride around and hope that he keeps that lead, and now the 83 of Nicholas takes the lead back for the first time today, and he's going to lead his first lap as the caution is out on lap 3 of 21 at Circuit of the Americas. Well, that was a quite exhilarating first 2 laps. We get to take our breath and breathe a little bit. Let's take a look at this replay to see what brought out our yellow.
Oh, just lost it in front of him. Wow. What a hit, man.
It looked like the 46 was trying to, I think he was trying to like gain some position here. Look, he's going to dive to the inside.
Yeah, I mean, there was a run, he just kind of ran out wide and nailed him there. That's just wrong place, wrong time.
End the day of Ryan Barone in the 46, as the field is going to, the top half of the drivers are going to kind of go by. Oh, that's the 3 of Kaz Gralla. Looks like he's got a motor issue. As the 23, the 33, those guys are going to come down pit road to get some tires, I believe. Look at all these guys with some nose damage here already early in the race, including last year's winner, Michael Guthrie. Big engine damage for the 3 of Kaz Gralla, who led laps early last season. That's going to take him out of the race.
Yeah, I wonder if he picked those up off of contact, or that's just kind of the engine expired. I hope we can see it at some point.
As we'll be restarting here on lap 5 of 21 in the final 4, the penultimate round for the in-season tournament. Here, race number 10 of 18 in the LIMECAR SimRacing Challenge. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Not as spread out as last time.
Yeah, it seems everybody kind of learned their lesson. They're trying to take care of their equipment a little bit more. Even then, Nichols just got a really good run. No challenge coming from the back. And yeah, I think this is kind of driving forward right now. Let's see, we see Ian McDaniel making a move here. Is he going to make it stick? Nope.
Hanging on that outside with Christian Visconti trying to make it 3 wide with Matthew Fastnot. That would be a pass for 11th place, but Daniel's going to stay in 12th, and you can see along that top bar, right along underneath Santiago Nicholas's name, you'll see where our in-season tournament matchups are competing against each other. And there's Jeremy Mead in 14th for now, but we'll see if that is able to stick around. That 78 of Sigafus goes wide, battling with the 13. There's the 16 of Zachary Ponson. Oh, goes spinning. That's the 97 of Sean McKean going around. So does the 23 of Christopher Murnell. Wow, big damage for the 97. We're going to stay green here.
Yeah, big. Oh, man, that's just seems to be the problem corner. Anytime we hit the brakes, I guess the guys are just, they're overheating their brakes, walking up the tires and running into the guy ahead of them. That sucks.
And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you need to take care of your brakes. And honestly, this is definitely proving to be kind of hard for a little bit these seasoned veterans. It looks like they're yamming on the brakes way too hard instead of modulating the throttle or modulating the brake. They're trying to keep their brakes a little bit cooler. You are so hard on the brakes here at COTA. So many hard braking zones, especially these last 2 corners, that I think that won't be the first time that we see people having to really slam on the brakes. As there's a 97 of Jeremy Mead. He's going to come down pit road still with handling problems, pitting with a vibration I'm hearing from pit road.
That's really unfortunate. I wish I could have seen. I don't think he would have had an answer either way for Nicholas Space today, but I wish it would have been a closer battle. As of right now, it looks really rough for me to come back.
Still have plenty of time, I would say, for him. Still only lap 26 or lap 6 of 21. On board with Richard Fridge in the Rainforest Alliance, the 27 Dash Racing Chevrolet. Richard Fridge won one race last season at Arlington. He's having an amazing season. He just has been a little bit pedestrian as of recent. I think that's Ian McDaniel. He goes.
Oh my god! Big contact.
That's the 6 and the 48. The 6 is going to get it back going. Let's take a look at this replay. Thank goodness this wasn't a big incident. Oh, that's Eris Yuko who spins him into the wall, and Ian hard inside pit.
Yeah, that sucks for Ian. He's just a passenger. It's gonna be really rough to get back in good racing shape now. Wow.
I mean, the 14 of Gibbons got spun early, and then now McDaniel slips down to 22nd after that spin. So Gibbons in 38th right now. A little bit of breathing room for McDaniel, but as of right now, those two seem to be, I wouldn't say the problems, but those two are definitely fighting over who can lose their in-season tournament battle the quickest, as Meade is currently in 32nd now. McDaniel is going to come down pit road to repair those damages. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Lots of cars coming down pit road. The 13 of Garrett Lamar, they say they're going for the two-stop strategy, fueling up now, and then we will fuel up at around lap 17. Do you think this is the right play call? Because I don't know. This is really strange.
I don't know, man. I mean, the only benefit I see from that would be they get to push flat out the whole way. They don't really have to worry about fuel savings. However, I just don't know if it's worth losing that track position with how many incidents we've already seen happen in the middle of the pack.
Absolutely. As the 6 of Ian McDaniel comes out, and look at that. There's his in-season tournament foe. That's the 14 of Chase Gibbons. So look at that. They started on the same row as each other, and now here they are in 37th and 38th, about to battle with each other. Ian's got 4 fresh tires. It looks like the 14 does not. So, and look at that. All that nose damage chopped off the 14 already. So we'll see if McDaniel's able to claw his way back here.
I hope so, man. I know he took a big hit just now, but he's still got front aero. He's got brand new tires. I don't see any reason he should not be passing Gibbons right now.
Can't overcook it into the braking zone here. Oh, looks like it seemed like he kind of wheel hopped it there, but the 6 is gonna gather it up and get it out the corner, head down this back straightaway. Probably get a good draft going, and McDaniel will be off and away in front of the 14. So that's a pass to put Ian McDaniel into the championship, but still have plenty of time. Helicopter cam looking atop this little battle here between the 60 and the 27 of Richard Fridge within the top 15.
He's 17 making a move. Is he going to make it stick down the inside? I don't think he's going to get enough of a run. And yeah, let's see. Will he hang it on the outside? Doubt it. Corner's very. Yeah, after you see the 60, just stick to position. He'll have it through the rest of the S's.
These S's are really hard to try and go side by side through. We've seen it time in and time out. You're gonna have to try and time your run really to after the S's and before this final little left right before the crest over the hill and down to the elbow corner, as lots of drivers like to call it. Riley Gorse in the 60 has been quite vocal on social media. He has been having a little bit of a rough go. Got knocked out of the in-season tournament. Had kind of a rough race at Iowa, rough race at of course, looking to have at least a solid run in that number 60. New paint scheme for this group to build some lanes. Green Machines were on board with third place Jerry Chen, fighting behind the 83 and the 43, who are. That's kind of interesting that the top three are the 83, 43, and 53. They're all under a blanket right here, so not really a quick getaway for Santiago Nicolas like we did last time.
It almost seems like you want to have a number three in your driver number right now. These guys have just been clashing the field, pretty much clean race all around, just running their own pace. I would not be surprised to see them try to extend this stint out, try to run as long as they can, take advantage of the gap, and then have to fuel up less towards the end of the race. Or, sorry, post, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it all, especially with that early yellow too. You see the 13, he's currently in 31st after that early stop, and the 97 currently in 30th. These guys up front can reasonably push it, so most likely around lap 13 or 14, depending on how much fuel they saved under yellow. So it all just depends on what these guys can do. And I would have to imagine that the one-stop strategy is the play, trying to stay on pit road for as little as possible.
I mean, yeah, especially in this COTA pit lane, you lose a lot of time, especially down at Main Street. It's not only just the pit lane, but the launch as well. You're going uphill. That lack of momentum is going to hurt you there.
You're burning a lot of fuel coming off that pit road.
Yeah, pretty much. As we see here, the 78, he's being chased by the 48 right now. He seems to be having some difficulties in the corners. I think I saw a little lock up there. Yeah, look how wide he ran. That's going to hurt him down the main straight.
Sigafu's in his first full-time season, currently running pretty solidly so far. That WeatherTech Red Bull scheme looks really stout. I think that's definitely... Oh, big bump from the 48. Oh, that's going to send him wide. Oh, the 48, he's going to get a little bit of a two-way action from the Mudfish Motorsports cars, the 84 and 48. We'll go to the helicopter cam for this one. Sigafu's not the lone underdog, but one of the very few single-car operations in the field, trying to stay afloat versus the factory Dodge organization, or one of the factory Dodge organizations with Mudfish, is that 48 slips out and the 78 is going to take the lead, or take that position, excuse me. Here's the 16 of Zachary Ponce and the Cheez-It machine. Battling with Reed Simpson.
Yeah, man, Reed's been... Glad to see Reed still around. He's been in this series for the longest time. We could really say he's a veteran. Owns the only Toyota team as far... Well, not the only, but he's been the main Toyota team pretty much since the rest of the series. Nice to see him still rolling around, still fighting strong.
Absolutely. There's the other Toyota team, the 69 of Anthony Foss. These guys started last, the 69 and the 66 teammates for Full Send Racing. They're both well within the top 20 after starting 41st and 42nd. So strong result and strong output from these two drivers who are looking to try and gain a little bit more support from their friends from Japan.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I remember watching here, it's been Toyotas have always felt on the back end of performance-wise. Feel Toyota maybe not the weakest team, but definitely not the strongest either. So the fact these guys are working their way up positions, always being there during a race, it's really, really good job.
I'm hearing words from race control that the 62, you see a lot of sheared off body parts there, has dropped a lot of debris on the track. So we're going to see, I think the 33 almost turned to 68 there. So dropped a lot of debris, and there's the yellow that's going to come out. Lots of debris all over the track from the 68 or the 62 of Aaron Giffen. So they're going to call yellow here on lap 10 of 21. They're going to clean that debris up, make sure that no drivers get any unnecessary entry. And this could be beneficial for the leaders, who are going to more than likely come down pit road, get some more fresh tires and fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't do it unless... Yeah, no, it's no... You're right at the end of the field run as well. If I'm the leaders, I'm taking advantage of the gap, or taking advantage of just having the say on what to do and pitting, filling up new tires, running it flat to the end.
So the 53 and the 80 are going to come down pit road, as well as the 4 of Reed Simpson. Most of the leaders are staying out. That's quite an interesting decision, especially they're going to be having, unless we get a really quick yellow, they're going to have to make some green flag pit stops here. Very odd decision here from most of these guys, as Jerry Chen and Christian Visconti may be sitting in the catbird seat here, getting 2 tires and fuel.
I'm questioning why, if you're down pit road already and you're the only 2, I don't understand why you wouldn't go 4 tires and be good to the end. And then even less clue on why the leaders wouldn't pit here. You're basically, what, 3-4 laps out from a pit stop? Why not bite the bullet now? Drive it. You're going to be tight on the fuel run, but it's better than doing green flag pit stops.
Absolutely agree with that one. But Santiago Nicolas has led the bulk majority of these laps and will be coming to lead the field back to the green here on lap 13, or on lap 13, excuse me, of 21. Green flag is out. The field's fanning out here. That's Suarez Greenhouse Jr. going to the inside of Alexander Rowe. Greenhouse Jr. moves his way to second.
A lot more aggressive than this restart than the last one, I think. They're not necessarily starting to get desperate, but the difference in tires, equipment, everything is starting to show a lot more.
Sure, these worn tires, as we see big slide out of everybody going through the S's here. And calm, cool, and composed goes Visconti and Chen, who both have 4 fresh tires. Chen has the 2 tires. Visconti has 4 fresh tires. There's the 43 and 37. They're going to be battling for 3rd place here.
Forty-three, 46. Oh, very bad run from 37 there. It looks like he almost lost it on the curve.
3 DAF racing cars all under a blanket here. Oh! Teammate trouble there, hitting each other. Door slamming.
I'm sure Bossman won't be too happy about that. I wish we could hear from him here in a second. See what he has to say.
A little bit of door slamming there between the 37 and the 17. Very intriguing as we get a little wide angle view. Oh, around goes the 27 off the nose of Riley Gorse, and he's going to get it back going and keeps it going. Yeah. Shoot.
Doesn't look like too much damage either, so.
Looks like it's just a slide for the 27, so not too bad.
Oh hell, too. Going into that big braking zone after the back plate. Very well held to not go deeper into it, maybe into the gravel.
Absolutely. I don't even think he touched the gravel. He still stayed on that asphalt runoff. So great to see that here, as 37 and 17 battling here. And we're seeing people dive down pit road. What is the world is going on? All the leaders are coming down pit road.
So I'm just really interested in what the leaders are doing here. They didn't pit to run a single green flag lap and then pit.
Visconti stays out, and the yellow is out. We have a wreck. Oh, that's Christopher Marnell and Chris
Good
Lilly.
hit.
Big damage on the nose.
Yeah, man. This Chris Marnell guy has been a weapon all race. They need to get him off the track. They need to black flag him. That's like the third wreck I've seen him in.
And that's the big help for these guys who just pitted. And the 52 of the Squarius Greenhouse Jr. comes out in front of the 83. But I think a lot of these drivers that are out in front of these guys who pitted are all guys who have just already come down pit road. Look at that. Those are all guys who have pitted earlier. So we'll see. I mean, Visconti, we just saw come down pit road. I think this 80 is good to the end. Let's take a look at this replay. Oh.
And
I think he went off Blake Walker, got spun, got stuck on the turtle curb, and then ran into the back of by the wall.
What a good beater. Big hit for Walker. Oh my.
That's Chris Lilly in the one who's running into the back of him.
My fault.
No, you're good. As we shockingly see very little drivers come down pit road, except for, unsurprisingly, the two drivers that were involved in the incident. So, I'm quite confused at what just happened and what just transpired there, but after all of that, we'll have a restart on lap 16. The 83 and the 52 are currently in 17th and 18th, respectively, after their pit escapade. So, luckily, they didn't go a lap down. They didn't lose much time, but they are now all bundled together. And look at all these guys that have damage in front of them who didn't need to pit, don't need to pit. This is going to launch forward a lot of these drivers as Visconti takes him to the green flag here. Garrett Lamar, he's been in the back all day trying to conserve fuel and manage his time, as well as Robbie Gordov. They're going to be side by side entering turn one and competing for this lead, but Visconti is currently going to lounge out in front.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what Nicholas has to do working through all this traffic. He's been pretty much the leader of the field, undisputed all race. So I'm very interested to see how he will handle now having to race hard pretty much. I don't think I've seen him do much of that in the past all day.
On board with the 14 of Chase Gibbons, currently in 14th as the ticker says, but that's Ian McDaniel that's right next to him. Wow, they're side by side right now. That's a pass. Chase Gibbons passes Ian McDaniel. The 14 has gotten by the 6. Look at that. And big wiggle. That's the 83 of Santiago Nicholas gets rammed by Ian McDaniel and runs into the back of the Squarius Greenhouse Jr. Those were the two leaders of the guys who pitted. And the 83 has major damage on the radiator. Look at the run that the 83 has. He's clearly so fast that that car might overheat with how much front end damage is happening. 3 wide into this. This might not end well. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's just really unfortunate. Starting off for Nicholas for the Squarius as well. I mean, hate it for those guys. Just wrong place, wrong time. But that just kind of shows you the nature of the in-season challenge. Everybody, these guys, they're not even fighting for the win, but they're fighting for a shot at the final, a shot at going at it next week. And it's getting really aggressive.
Absolutely. I mean, Ian McDaniel had to try and make sure that he had a great braking zone to try and line up and get by the 14 of Chase Gibbons, and that's the 83 who's going to come down pit road to try and get some damage repair. He said the temps were skyrocketing in the car already. Big blow for the 83 and the 52 who were having such great days. Now Ian McDaniel and Chase Gibbons fighting alongside. The 14 just has such a major aero deficiency down that front straightaway. You would have to think that the 6 has this in the bag, but you never know. Still a long ways to go. We've already seen the 14 and the 6 have self-inflicted wounds and mistakes of their own throughout today.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a great battle. We're seeing Ian seems to be struggling here a little bit with grip. I know he's making the pass, but if you see him racing around other cars, the car does not look settled whatsoever. He doesn't look comfortable in that thing.
Here's the 17 of Logan Williams, who is currently sitting within the top 10 here. Gonna fight with... Doesn't actually have to fight with anybody here for this top 10 spot, but closing in on last year's winner, the 51. Oh, that's Ian McDaniel going sliding. Oh, man. Into the sand he goes.
Just a lap later, Karma caught up to him. That's really unfortunate. That actually, I know Gibbons must be really excited, and I'm sure it'll help continue the Cinderella run he's been having.
It's not over yet, but McDaniel, what had it in the bag almost. Let's see what's going on here. Side by side with Rowe. Oh, and Rowe just comes down into him, and McDaniel locks up the brakes. Oh, man.
Really unfortunate for Ian. That's heartbreak, really.
The 83 chops the whole front end off. They're currently in 29th. Now, the good news for the 83, I guess the one solace of it, even though they have led the most laps here, Jeremy Mead is one lap down and doesn't appear to be in any sort of place to be running for a lucky dog position or to get his lap back. So as long as the 83, and that's the 13 of Lamar coming down pit road, presumably for his final stop of the day. So that two-stop strategy is not the moves, not going to be the winning strategy for Garrett Lamar unless another yellow happens, but I doubt that will be any sort of effect for his race position, as everybody in front of him seems to be good on fuel. We'll see, though. But the 83 has led the most laps here today and will advance in the in-season tournament as long as he does not exit the race. But just such a bittersweet feeling for the 83. Sure, you advance. And we do have 4 laps to go. Sure, you do advance, but it's not what you want to have for your day, especially last week coming here today, winning the pole.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I guess at this point you take it as a test session, you learn what you can, work on your car, take notes, and just regroup for next week.
Absolutely. Next week is going to be the one that matters the most. As you saw, the 14 of Chase Gibbons currently got it all but wrapped up. The 6 went down pit road to repair some damage. A little bit of a battle here between the 99 and the 33. This is for second place, I would think, as the 80 is way far out in front already. Christian Viscani, look at that. A second gap already in front of the 33. And at a place like here, a place like COTA, Eugenio, you've raced here before. Definitely some club races here before, done some single manufacturer spec racing. When you're just 1 second out in front, or someone's that far in front of you, they're so close yet so far. How does it feel as a driver to have to lock yourself in and be like, I can get them, even though that seems like such a long margin away?
It's more demoralizing, if anything, when you see them run that far, because it's same car, well, not same car, but it's similar enough, and you're just pushing your best in there, but all you can really hope for is take care of your stuff and try to pound one with how much they're pushing. Obviously, their tires are going to get stopped before you, so that's when you got to make up the gap.
Absolutely. As we still have a decent amount of way left to go here today. It's a road course. Anything can happen. As we see Henry Guo battling with the other with the DAF Racing teammate of Alexander Rowe. The 47 has methodically made his way through the field here today. Hasn't really been that big of an impact yet, but here's Reed Simpson in the 4. That's a top 5 run boiling up for the 4 Yahoo machine. Big run, great run for him.
Absolutely.
Fuel strategy's paid off.
His driving paid off. It's been a very quiet race for him, but honestly, with how much carnage there's been throughout the field, I think quiet is probably better.
It appears that car doesn't have... I mean, look at the 17. That car is clean as a whistle. If you're a team owner, that's exactly the type of day you want.
Well, absolutely. I will say, though, I've been seeing a lot of these DAF Racing guys. They've been racing each other pretty harder than I've seen them race other cars. I think there's a little bit of in-team rivalry there, maybe. Some bragging rights?
You know, maybe so. We'll have to hear from Dominic Anthony. Have to get a quote from him, but all 3 of them are right under a blanket. Just missing the 27 of Richard Fridge. Henry Guo has replaced Richard Fridge in this little discussion as the 54 of Eris Yuko. He pitted earlier under the green flag conditions, has 4 fresh tires, slowly making his way through the field here. Could it be too little too late? We are coming up to 2 laps to go, as going wide is that's the 51 of Michael Guthrie, last year's winner. Definitely and then the 84 gives him a bumper for good measure. Definitely a lot uglier of a car than what won here last year, but still looking for 2 straight top 10 finishes at the Circuit of the Americas road course for Michael Guthrie, which is not anything to be ashamed of whatsoever. Especially, we heard earlier in the week, as the 47 is battling the 37. Eugenio, I don't know if you really heard this at all. A lot of these drivers are saying that this is a race of attrition and is actually tougher on you and tougher on the car and tougher on the body physically than the Coca-Cola 600.
That's an interesting one. I guess it's tougher in different ways. I think the 600's a lot tougher mentally. I think physically it's probably on par. But here the physical toll it's spread out more evenly. It's not something that, say, on the 600 you kind of get used to it. Here you're turning both left and right. The curbs here are all like kind of different heights, different feelings. Sometimes you're hitting the sausage curb, sometimes you're hitting the grass or the gravel as we see them when they go out of that little short scoot. So I think it's physical in very different ways.
Absolutely. As we see Visconti with 2 laps to go, coming to 1 lap to go. Here, the strategy call for the 80 car and for all of these guys behind him have really turned these guys' days around. And who would have thought that the alternate strategy, the strategy that the leaders weren't choosing, was going to be the winning strategy? And all it took was just coming down pit road under yellow, which I think you and I both could have expected that those guys coming down pit road under yellow would have been in a much better situation. But to see that the carnage that those leaders got into was well worth Visconti staying out, as we see the white flag appear here at Circuit of the Americas.
Just textbook from Visconti and his team. Great strategy, great driving. I mean, if you see his car, probably one of the cleanest in the field. I don't think I've seen him do anything bad or like get in an accident. I don't think I've seen him off track at all. So it's just textbook driving from him, textbook strategy, just well executed all around. It's hard to beat that.
Tyler Cook is struggling to make his way through the field here, as just another day where the 43 is going to come up short. Had a decently fast car, but the 43 was just led a few laps early. Led lap 1 and lap 2 before being passed by the 83. And then once he was passed by the 83, running back to the line after that first yellow, it just nothing came of it after that. Ian McDaniel sitting in 33rd. This is a lot of people were betting on Ian McDaniel coming into today because the 14 of Gibbons after last season, he was put into this situation where at COTA he needed to do well to advance, was racing against Ricardo Garcia, I believe, and just didn't compete, finished 30th, and Ian McDaniel has always been great at the road courses, just not able to get it done. Self-inflicted mistakes. The 97 having handling issues all day, and not to mention the damage of the front nose. Me just not able to compete, going a lap down. Or the 14 of Chase Gibbons being passed by the 53 of Jerry Chen right now. 14 is going to make his way through, barring the last few corners having anything cattywampus happen to him. 14 is going to make his way through to the championship round of the in-season tournament. But Christian Visconti, through the final corner, the strategy call pays out for the driver from Guilford, Connecticut. The number 80 Visco wireless machine is going to cross the line here at COTA and win the XPEL 225.
My God, what a nasty hold. That's just textbook from the restart. He wasn't even balanced once.
Textbook from all facets of it, from the pit crew to the box to the driving ability of Visconti, was just able to get it done. Couldn't ask for a better day.
No, and couldn't ask for a better race either. I think COTA needs to be a permanent fixture on any series. This track always delivers, will always have grade A races. You'll have multiple strategies, multiple race leaders. And I think it's just one more example of it.
Absolutely, I agree. As Visconti's going to burn it down here. Burn it down, Visco. You deserve it. First career win for Christian Visconti in LIMECAR. And he's going to get it done.
That is a statement win. I would not be surprised if the bigger teams start eyeing him up.
Absolutely. I definitely wouldn't be shocked at that either. As we're going to take a look, our in-season tournament finale, the drivers who advance, it's going to be Gibbons versus Nicholas, the 14 versus the 83 next week at Circuit, or not at Circuit of the Americas, at Gateway. I mean, we've seen at Gateway, it's such a great track. Drivers love it. Teams love it. It's a phenomenal course. And what better way than to have the finale of our in-season tournament than at one of our best tracks on the schedule.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. What a great decision to bring the cars here, especially with such a high stakes race. I don't think we could have asked for a better venue.
Absolutely. From all of us here at LIMECAR, we thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for joining. Eugenio, any final words, any final thoughts before we sign off for the night?
Final words is congratulating Christian Visconti. First win, beautiful win of that. Statement drive. I mean, this kid has a bright future.
I couldn't agree more. From all of us here at LIMECAR, thank you guys for joining. We'll see you all next week for the in-season tournament finale. Hell yeah.